Hey guys, welcome back to Wendy's World. So today I'm gonna be joined by a very beautiful, young, and hardworking lady. And she's also my namesake as well. Anyways, I cannot wait to have her today. So I'm going to send her a request now so that she can join as well. Guys, I cannot wait to have this. Hey guys, I can see everybody. I hope everyone is okay. And yeah, how's everyone going up there? I just sent you a request now, babe. Let me know if you get it. What's up? I can see you, Lamba.
Hi.
Hey, girl.
Hey
How
girl,
you
how are
doing?
you?
I'm
I'm
fine,
good.
thank you.
Thanks for
Thank you
having me.
for
I'm
doing
so
this.
let me find a cute filter
Okay, no problem. Take your time.
because the girl is tired. Oh,
That's no
how is
problem. I'm fine. I'm good. That was the weekend.
good, good. I'm just trying to kind of settle down and wrap up for the week. Because then the week is gonna be busy as well. But yeah, other than that, I'm okay. Can you guys hear me? Okay.
Yeah, perfectly. Even before the filter, you don't look tired. You still look beautiful.
Oh, thank
Yeah, you look so beautiful, anyways.
you. But I love your hair.
So thanks so much. So do you kind of want to introduce yourself to the audience? Because I know some people don't know you.
Yeah, perfect. So my name is Florence. I'm a content creator here. I'm at More Than Inside Out. I'm online here on Instagram, and then I'm also the founder of a lifestyle brand called MIO Prints. But I'm sure we'll talk about that in a couple of minutes. But yeah, I suppose I create content. I'm lifestyle content. I also similar to you, Andy. I also host IG lives. Where I bring creative on my platform as well, and we just have great conversations and just raise awareness on like topics ranging from business to creation to everything lifestyle, to be honest. So I'm super excited to be here. Thank you, Wendy. I know it's been a long time. We've been trying to get this up and running.
Yeah,
So thank you for being so patient. And yeah, I'm just really honored to be here this evening.
no problem at all. There's this question I get asked, so I'm going to ask you as well. As a content creator, a businesswoman, and you also have your own life and work as well, how do you do it? Because I get asked that question a lot. How do you juggle that around?
I think for me, I've learned to compatibilize everything that I do. So
Okay.
like if I'm working 9 to 5, I do my best obviously to be in work 9 to 5, and then I try and finish early so that I can attend to other areas of my life. Now obviously we won't always get it right, but I
Yeah.
think that's what I've definitely been able to do is so okay, if I'm working 9 to 5, I'm working 9 to 5, and then when I'm back home, it's time for my business. If I'm also in Ireland leading into cultural choir, and we have
Okay.
we have
Wow.
practice every Tuesday. So Tuesdays are usually my longest days because I finish work 9 to 5, and I work in town, so in Dublin city centre. So I will kind of hang around and then go to practice for 7 to 9. And I'm also the social media manager of the choir. So I would try and create content for the choir during choir practice and share it then. And then a lot of things that I do on the bus. So I get the bus to work.
Yeah.
I just try and make sure that the hour that I'm using to get to and back from work, I use those times. So I just try and make sure that every time, any spare time I have, I'm using it to the best of my ability. So yeah, I've just learned to. I think that's what you can do, especially when you have lots of things going on. You have to learn to be able to say, okay, this time around, this is what I'm doing. When I'm doing this, I'm doing this. Do you know kind of way? Otherwise, you will burn out. You have to be able to have systems in place that allows you to do all those things. So yeah.
What about when it comes to yourself as well? Do you actually have, because I get asked that, do you actually have your own personal time?
To be honest, the answer is no, which isn't great, and that's what I'm talking about burnout. Because
Yeah.
sometimes when you're doing a lot of things, you forget yourself. But I've actually recently started going back to the gym, and I find that 40 minutes is the time I have to myself. It really allows me to just center myself and just work on my body. So I think that's what I do at the moment, and that's when it started in the last 2 weeks because I've just noticed that I've been a little tired and a bit slump and not in the best mood. But when you're active, I suppose it really helps you to look after yourself. And another thing I would say is, it's really important to know when to switch off. So I now log off regularly on social media when I post. I would log off, and I always know when it's time to take a break. I'm currently actually on a break at the moment. I'm not really
I
sure
need
when
to
I'm
learn
back.
how to do that. I need to learn how to do that.
No, you have to learn to switch off, log off, and just, it'll be fine. Things
Yeah.
will sort stuff out. Now, obviously, for my business page, I can't take breaks as I'd like to. I'm currently the one managing that page as well. But so if I log off my personal page, I probably won't log off my business page just so I can answer questions. But I'm quite aware that it's really important to just switch off sometimes. So yeah, I definitely log off. I think I would encourage everyone to do that as well.
Okay, so when it comes to business, do you always know that you're going to go into business, or was it just something that comes to you maybe like after college or maybe after secondary school?
I've always wanted to, I suppose, run my own brand. To be honest, like I think for me, I just don't like the idea of someone telling me when I can go on holidays, when I can work, when I can go on lunch, when I start work. Now I'm lucky that my manager is great, and my role as well is quite flexible. But I think for me, growing up, I could not just imagine someone telling me that, oh, I only have 29 days in a year to go on a rest. Like what? So growing up, I've always been having my own business. Now I did a lot of things. Like I ventured into like pyramid scheme businesses, like the likes of ACN. I did loads of those kind of businesses that you have to meet people, speak to
Yeah.
them, and convince them on why they should buy your products. And I think those businesses actually built my confidence. I've learned over the years to accept no. I think not everyone can accept no. It's very hard for you when you believe in something and you're trying to convince someone that, okay, you need to buy this, and they're like, no. And no matter what script you have, and for them to still say no, it's really, really hard. So I think being a part of those businesses when I was younger, like it really helped me learn how to pitch my ideas, how to approach people, and I was trying to convince them on my offer, and okay, this is why you need to buy this product. But I suppose moving on from then, I realized that there's that's why I call it pyramid scheme. So like there's always people at the top, and
Yeah.
so you fall under, and like even if you get to the top, even if you're moving up the ladder, there will always be people at the top. So I think I just didn't like the idea of I would never get to that place of I'm now financially free, if that makes sense. So
Yeah.
I've always wanted to start my business. And I think for me, once I found the gap in the Afro-Irish markets at the time when I launched my business, once I found the gap, I was really, really excited, and I just ran with the idea. And yeah, like now 2 years later, 3 years later, and I'm like, wow, but obviously then I didn't see how far my business would go. When I started, honestly, it was a bit of trial and error. And a lot of times, sometimes even now, like, I will still launch products onto the market, and I'm like, okay, we'll just see how it goes. And it does, but I'm like, oh yes, I'm glad I trusted my gut instinct. But yeah, I suppose I've always had that entrepreneurial spirit in me, and that's why I think I was able to dabble into the whole different businesses as well. So I guess in short, I would say yes, I've always wanted to have my own business, and I always knew that I would always have something else doing. I am quite busy as a person. I don't
Yeah.
like being idle, and I think my personality reflects in everything that I do, even today. So yeah.
Okay. So when it comes to like let's say support, do you think we African communities we actually support each other? Because you see people here as African when you see an African person that they know set up a business and is selling as people, but oh yeah, I can just go to this place and get it for a cheaper price. You get like, oh, I can just go to AliExpress and get it. Do you think we support each other enough, or we just kind of tend to bring the business out sometimes?
I mean, I don't think we support each other enough. I think it needs to get better, but I feel like we have started to see a shift in people's mindsets. Like the whole black-owned brand is now like the movements, by George Floyd's death, may so rest in peace. That really brought a lot of awareness to black-owned businesses, and I definitely feel like we're now seeing a shift, where people are now appreciating black-owned businesses more, and you're now having people not just black but even white people, like different cultures now supporting black-owned brands, which is
Yeah.
which is great. Now, could it be better? Absolutely, it could be better. I mean, we're still a bit limited by the whole black-owned brand. I feel like sometimes people are not as forgiving if you make a mistake. If you order something from Pretty Little Thing, for example, and if they got your order wrong, or people are a lot more likely to forgive those kind of brands than if it was black, because then the next thing you're hearing is, oh, it's because you're black, it's because you're not excellent. And so like as black-owned business owners, I feel like we're having to work 10 times harder, and to be honest, I'm not sure if that will ever change. But we all have to strive towards excellence. I definitely feel like it's gotten better. Like we have an award coming up now with the Black and Irish owned Black and Irish, and all these things, all these platforms, you're seeing people that are, are recognizing the gap and the areas where we need to improve, and people are taking the leap and the plunge, and they're going into it to support people and to open platforms and to create awareness about the gap, I suppose, within the Afro-Irish scene, and I'm sure it's the same everywhere as well. So I would say we are getting there. It's getting better, but we have a long way to go still.
Yeah, to grow. Okay, okay. So would you have set like a third party to kind of be with Print, or would you be like
Yeah,
you?
I have absolutely, like I have a lawyer, I have an accountant,
Yeah,
I have a social media management agency working with us as well. So I suppose, yeah, like I would again, it's about the values of your business and your value as an individual. Like for me,
yeah,
before I work with people, I definitely even like influencers that we've worked with, like I've had like interviews with them, like video interviews, just to kind of know the person behind the name, or the behind the Instagram handle, should I say. I think it's really, really important that to learn how to leverage and to outsource where possible.
yeah,
You can't do everything on your own, and to be honest, like the whole hustle culture is not actually it's not healthy all the time. You can't,
yeah,
there's a this thing about trying to hustle, grind, and then you miss the entire point. A lot of us, like when you start your own business, the reason why you started your business is so that you can make residual income, so you can make passive income, so that you can work while you're sleeping, so that you can, so you're trying to create freedom basically. But if you're doing everything on your own,
yeah,
and if you don't see that there's a need for you to ask for help where it's possible, you'll end up just working for yourself all the time. So it's really, really important to know when to ask for help, so that you can focus on other things as well. Because I find that sometimes when you do everything, some areas lack as well.
yeah,
Like
that's true.
earlier on, like when you're doing all these things, sometimes we forget ourselves, and that's why
Yeah,
you start to feel stress and everything. That's because you're neglecting a huge part, which is yourself. You are your biggest tool. If you're not in a great place, your business will suffer, everything else will suffer, because you need you to carry out those tasks. So yeah, I think it's absolutely important to outsource wherever you can. But again, it's about the values, knowing that the people that you're outsourcing to and the people that you're bringing into your business, that you can trust them and that they have similar
yeah.
values, so that they will build your business rather than bring it down. So yeah.
Okay, is there a reason behind the name? Because we know every business have a reason for their name. Was there any reason why you named it?
Yeah, so MIO print. So I suppose MIO is an abbreviation for my name here on Instagram, which is Molded Inside Out. So it's MIO. And then the prints is my passion for African prints.
Okay,
I
okay.
always loved Ankara. Like I've always been that girl that would always stand out because I was wearing a head wrap. And like I'd say now this year I can count how many times I've worn head wrap, and that's because my shaved hair now is becoming a part of my brand.
Yeah.
Really, like before, and I suppose that's another topic for another day. I'm learning to separate my personal brand from my business brand, but really, I am that girl that you see wearing dead wraps and the scarves and everything. I think I'm so passionate about the African culture in general,
Yeah.
and so yeah, I suppose I was able to incorporate my passion and what I do into my business, and that's how my name came about.
Okay, so when you first started, who was your greatest supporter?
My family. My family. Now I have a friend as well with me. She actually, when I first showcased the bonnets, I was actually on Snapchat. Now I don't promote my Snapchat because it's the only platform I have that I can be silly. So I don't
Yeah.
really share online. But then I remember she said to me, "Oh, it's like put it up on Snapchat," and I was like, "No, people won't take me serious," because even then I was in the choir already. I had the blog. I've always been that person to do a lot of things. So I thought at that time people wouldn't take me serious, and as I said, they didn't take me serious because my friends didn't. Sometimes your friends are like, "Oh, another what else is she doing now?" So I think
Yeah.
people kind of having those like roll eyes moments. So when I put up on Snapchat, nobody took me serious, and she was like, "Okay, put on your Instagram and see." And obviously on my Instagram, then it was like total strangers that actually gravitated towards what I was doing, and then I opened it. Like then I suppose I launched another page for my prints, and that's how we started. But really, when I started, I would say my family and some friends who probably believed in what I was doing at the time. But I think it's taken people a long time to really see that, oh, okay, wow, all those things she's doing, like this is where it's leading her to, blah blah blah. But yeah, my family would be my greatest supporters.
Okay. So aside from being an entrepreneur, a content creator, so what else, aside from all that you are right now, what else would you pick? Can you hear me?
Say that again.
I said aside from
Yeah, it's
being
breaking up.
an entrepreneur, like a content creator, if you were to pick something else entirely, what would you go with?
Music.
Music.
And yeah, and to be honest, music has been a part of my life since I was a baby, you know. I've always been in choirs. I've like even now, like I'm in, as I said, I'm in Discovery Gospel Choir, but before that I was in the African Gospel Choir. And all through that period I was always in my church choir as well. And I am still in my church choir. So actually, if I yeah, so I sing music. I definitely love music, and I feel like I'm, no matter how much I try to run away from it, I'm always around music. You know, I'm
Okay.
always in that scene. So yeah, like if I wasn't creating content, if I wasn't an entrepreneur, I'd probably say I would probably try and focus on my music career, or I'll try and create a career out of it. Now, if I'd be successful, I don't know, but but I'd like,
You
I'd
never
definitely say,
know.
yeah, I'd definitely say another passion. Like I definitely have a passion for music and just being in choirs, and I just love music, to be honest. Yeah.
Maybe in the future when your brains move forward and you have people working for you, maybe you might give it a try.
Maybe.
Maybe you never know. Maybe you might give it a try. So let's talk a little bit about we Africans. So as an African child growing up, was there anything maybe like a superstition or something that you know that your parents would tell you that you actually believe in? You know, as African parents,
That I actually believe,
or maybe by relatives, something like that.
that I believe in now.
Yeah, even up to now, that you still
Yeah,
believe in.
the evil eye. The evil eye. I think growing up, we all like, you know, I would say I come from a very, very like a very spiritual background, in the sense that like I'd be in tune with like the whole like I suppose, like I have an understanding that everything that happens in the physical realm has already happened in the spiritual realm, and that's how I view the world. Now,
Yeah,
obviously, the whole evil eye thing, I think sometimes it can be overbearing and overwhelming, and you're kind of like, okay, not everybody hates you, because
yeah,
sometimes you want to share things and you're like, oh, just in case somebody looks at it, and and sometimes it can become like, oh, okay, get over yourself. But actually, I think sometimes it is true, and we have to be careful what we share. Not everybody's happy for you. Sometimes you have to be
yeah,
careful how you say things. Like I remember, like even for like the for our William video, before we were featured in that video, like when I got that email, we weren't able to share it, and I feel like sometimes we try and underestimate these things, but like a lot of times you have big opportunities, and sometimes I can't count how many times now in the last year where I would have something coming up and I'm not allowed to share it, and and you have to ask yourself, why can't you share those things? Because some things, if you share it prematurely, it just won't come to fruition. Like you won't see those things. It's actually been proven as well. Sometimes when you share things too much, because even yourself, like, it's like saying, "Oh, I'm going to lose weight. I'm going to lose weight." Sometimes you actually don't, because you put yourself under pressure, and people are looking at you, and you even lose yourself in it because you're so focused on what you
yeah,
said. And
yeah,
naturally, as human beings, we don't. But on the other end of that as well is like, if you're saying you want to lose weight and you're sharing that all the time, not everybody's happy for you. People start to tap into that joy, and sometimes it just might not happen. You just might not lose that weight, and obviously that's something minor. But honestly, like I genuinely feel like not everything needs to be shared online. Sometimes you have to keep those things that are dear to you, to your heart, and not share about every like little part of your life. Even to not to mention names, but like we've seen an influencer recently who her house got raided, and I think I
yeah,
watched her YouTube video, and she was saying that it's really hard because obviously she's paid to share everything about her life, but now she was saying in that video that she's going to step back from doing that because she just feels like she probably shared too much. And I feel like it is what it is. Like not everybody's happy for you. You're there trying to do a day in my life, a day in my apartment.
yeah,
People start to study these things, and people then look at a day where you're not around, and it's happened to things, and and you leave yourself vulnerable. And I feel like that really is the reality of things. So yeah, I do believe in the evil eye. Now maybe like I wouldn't use the term evil eye, but I definitely feel like not everything needs to be shared, because you just don't know who's happy for you.
yeah.
well. And at the end of the day, I think that's about also separating reality from social media. It really is social media. You know, it's not reality. And I could be here, and especially now with this filter. Like if you come here now, you'd be like, oh look, her skin is flawless. But if you don't know, filter. So it's the same thing. Like social media as a filter. Like, you know, everything we do, we try and present ourselves to be certain ways, and nobody knows what you're really going through. And I feel like when you allow people to come into your life, into your personal space, you just allow yourself to be vulnerable, and you're not really sure then where things are coming from. So yeah, I suppose in a nutshell, I definitely feel like I do believe in the evil eye, but I probably just wouldn't term it evil eye. But yeah, I suppose
No. So from going through your page, I noticed that you love traveling a lot.
Well,
So from the countries you've been to, so can you tell us like a little bit, which country have you been to that you find their culture kind of different? Maybe it's the dressing, maybe it's the food, something that's different from their culture.
well, I would say Turkey, because obviously
Okay.
it's a Muslim country.
Okay.
I actually, to be honest, I like the idea of dressing in a modest way, because one thing I noticed was, you know, you can dress in a modest way and still look good. You know, I think growing up for me, I was like, I'm not really into the whole modest fashion, but actually, you've seen a lot of people that would dress very modestly and still look good and still on trend, you know, still looking trendy. I actually, Turkey is such a beautiful country. Such a beautiful country. But yeah, like I'd say that's probably the place I've been to where things were like starkly different, because again, people are wearing a hijab, you have to wear long dresses, you have to like cover up and all that kind of stuff. Like everywhere else, it just depends. Whatever you want to wear, I mean, except for Nigeria, but that's because culturally we judge people. Not,
Yeah.
so not necessarily because they judge differently. It's just because there's a lot of hypocrites, you know, and trying to be what they're not. But I say a country that I could just see that was a huge difference from the get go was Turkey, because everybody's dressed the same, everybody's dressed covered, you know, and so yeah.
Okay. Also, yeah, you just mentioned Nigeria. I noticed you went to Nigeria this summer as well. Was that your first time?
No,
I I see the pictures. I'm like, oh, she went to enjoy her life there.
no, it's not the first time. So basically, I grew up in Ireland. I
Okay.
left Nigeria when I was 6 or 5, and
Okay.
my mom brought us back for the first time in 17 years in 2017.
Okay.
I kid you not, all of us, we hated our mom. Like, I hated her so much. I remember then, like, I started working then, but I was so angry that she was making us go to Nigeria that I didn't even contribute €1 to the tickets. So she think she spent over €6,000 because there's 5 of us, and
Yeah.
of 6. So like it was a very expensive trip for her, and I was so like chuffed. Like I was so upset throughout the plane. I was so moody. I was like, "What is this? Why are we going back?" I hated it. And then when we landed, I remember the first thing I noticed was, "Wow, I've never seen so much black people in my entire life." There was no like it was the first time in a long time that I've never not even one white person. It was really weird. And then I was like, oh, these people are so weird, and like they know the way people make noise. I'm like, why are you making noise? Like, what's going on? And then I think after a week,
Yeah.
me and my friends actually sat down. We were like, okay, we're here now. We're going to make the most of it. We're going to try and make friends, and we were intentional about how we were in Nigeria. And then I think
Yeah.
after that, when we came back, then I realized, wow, I'm actually Nigerian. I'm actually black, because you know, for people that lived here, like there's going to be a lot of identity crisis, because you're not really sure where you're from. Like over here, you don't really fit in, because you're reminded all the time that you're actually not Irish. But then you go back home, and then they're also saying, well, you're not really Nigerian. So, you know, sometimes if you're not sounding yourself, you really will have identity crisis, because you're thinking, wait, I'm not Nigerian really, because I'm not really like them, but I'm also not Irish because I'm not really like them. So who exactly am I? And I think after I came back, I definitely went through a phase of, oh my God, where am I from? Who am I? Whatever. What am I going to identify myself with? I actually started my blog in 2017 when I came back then through that first trip. And then, so I suppose for me, then growing up, I kind of realized that, okay, I've grown so much since that time, and now I'm like, right, okay, I'm Irish Nigerian, Nigerian Irish. I'm the best of both worlds. Then I went back myself in 2019 on my own, and I think since then I've just been like, wow, okay, I'm Nigerian, but I'm also Irish.
Yeah.
And then obviously the whole NSARS happened, and now I'm just like, I definitely feel a connection to my country, because I'm like, yeah, I'm definitely Nigerian, and I understand the struggles. But I'm also here, and I also understand what it's like to be Irish. I can put on an Irish accent and get away with it. I can put on a Nigerian accent and get away with it. But I love going back home. I think it's great to just be able to identify yourself with your own people and just know your culture and understand where you're coming from and your roots and understand some of the drive. Like I feel like, I'm so sorry, Nigerians, we hustle. We have a drive in us that I feel like when you go to Nigeria, you will understand why you're like the way you are, because it's in the blood. We work so hard.
Nigerians are the real definition of hustling. They are the real definition of
and look, and to be honest, like, let's be real, look at the top even influencers. Look at the top influencers, they're all Nigerian. Look at Patricia Bright, she's Nigerian. Jackie Iron, Nigerian. You know, like, look at Kai Collective, she's Nigerian. Like, they're like, we are like built to go for when we know what we want, we go for it, we work hard and we don't stop. And I think it's definitely a part of our culture as people. And so yeah, Nigerians are great. I'm sorry, but it is what it is, you know.
So I'm glad you had a good experience. There was no okay, because I had a guest the other time and she had some few experience. So I was like, let me ask you as well, how was your experience when you went to Nigeria?
Yeah, like I definitely had a good experience. And don't get me wrong, like, you know, you would meet some people that are not so nice, and you encounter things that are not so great, and you know, you see things and like, that's not so nice. What's going on here? I think overall, I've always had a good experience, to be honest.
Okay, so when it comes to like fashion, what is the first thing that pops into you? Okay, you're going out or you just want to dress for the day. What is the first thing that you think about before dressing?
Comfort. I like to be comfortable. I feel like I always think about, okay, what is this going to be comfortable? Am I going to be comfortable? And then it's like, and then I think the next thing is it on brand? So I think since I started my business, like I always try and make sure I'm representing my brand, because I feel like I'm a brand ambassador. I need to make sure that whatever I wear, people can see that, okay, yeah, that's MIO Printer, that's Wurld inside out. So I try and make sure that it's comfortable and that, you know, it's on brand. So yeah, I suppose that those are the first two things that will come to me. If I'm going to an event, I'll be thinking, yeah, I guess that's.
What about when it comes to the season that you're in as well? Or
yeah, again, comfort. Like, so if I'm going out, I want to wear my jackets. I don't care. Because it's cold, especially now that I've shaved my hair. I was telling one of my colleagues the other day, I was like, since I've shaved my hair now, I'm always awake, because before I would, you know, drink coffee, but now honestly, by the time I get out of my house, the wind slaps through my scalp. So if I was sleeping, it would literally wake me, just slap my scalp. So I'm like, ooh, I'm awake. So I always try and make sure I dress warm, so that, you know, because I notice that every time I shave my hair, I always get a head cold, because my body's getting used to the wind and everything again. So yeah, it's so important to be comfortable, you know, to be warm, and to look on brand, and you know, to obviously look good as well. That's really, really important, you know.
okay, so as an influencer, what are the challenges that you come across sometimes?
I think it's about like try not to compare yourself to other people, not to compare yourself to other influencers, and just to stay on top of your game, and always trying to make sure that you're creating from a place of passion, because it's very easy for you to create with pressure, and like, okay, I haven't posted this week, let me try and create something. Like, okay, for example, a good example was today now, and like I haven't created any content this weekend, not last weekend even, and I was like, okay, will I wear makeup so that after the show I can create something? But actually, in reality, I'm tired, and I'm not in the mood to create content. And I think sometimes that's a lot of pressure on influencers or content creators, should I say, because, you know, you're trying to say, okay, you're trying to balance how you're feeling with what you need to do. So a lot of times, you know, you might be like, oh, I'm not in the best mood, but you want to create something for your audience and for your tribe. But you know, what do you do when you're like, oh, actually, I'm not in the mood to smile right now. I'm not in the mood to be getting behind the camera. I just want to sleep. I just want to be left alone. I think I'm definitely in that phase right now where I'm like, okay, I'm going to just take a step back, because I want to take care of myself, you know, and I want to prioritize myself. But I think these are some of the challenges that nobody tells you about, is the fact that you're trying to balance your personal life with like what you do, and you know, and finding that time as well, especially when you work 9 to 5. Sometimes it's not the easiest now, especially now where like it's getting darker earlier. You know, before you might be able to create content at night, but now by 4 o'clock it's getting dark. And the type of content you create, that can be challenging. So like your weekend is when you have, and that weekend might be maybe when your family needs you, or your business needs, or you want to rest. And you know, so you're always, I think some of the challenges, you're always juggling what you want to do from what you need to do. You know, and sometimes you want to rest and just bury yourself under the quilt, but actually work requires you to be up and present all the time. So I think it can be challenging to always be present when you want to rest. So sometimes you have to deny your body, and there's a lot of sacrifice you have to make. And I feel like if you're not ready, if you're not able to make sacrifices, then really you will struggle in this industry, because you're constantly making sacrifices, and that sacrifice may be your sleep, sometimes maybe your loved ones as well. And obviously that's really hard. Sometimes we have to say, no, I can't go out, or no, I can't watch a movie with the family because I have to go and do this. So yeah.
Okay. When it comes to social media, so how has social media helped you? Like, how has your experience been, and how has it helped your business as well to grow?
Brand awareness. That's the first thing that comes to my mind. Like, you're putting yourself out there. Now, you have to be comfortable with doing that. You have to be comfortable with people judging you. And you have to be comfortable with, like, I've been really lucky. Please God, like, I've not had any like bad experiences with comments and people being like like trolls and stuff. But imagine if the bigger you get, anyways, the bigger your problems really. But social media is great for brand awareness. You get to share your passion with people that have similar values. And with the whole like following and unfollowing, you get to follow people that inspire you, and that's really good. And we get to raise awareness. Look at the whole Black Lives Matter. Like, that's the power of social media, because people are able to see something that's, okay, this is injustice, and we're gonna not be quiet about this. We're gonna share this, and look at like that situation really, as like, it's gone far and beyond. And I don't think nobody envisions that it will go with that as far as it did. Obviously, it's sad that George lost his life, but it just shows you that, like, at least now that we now see what's going on in the world, and like we can say no to. Look at NSARS as well. It's the same thing. The Nigerian governments were not expecting that, but because the youth were like, no, we've had enough, like, and we created a hashtag for it and raise awareness, and like, so I think that's the power of social media. You get to make friends as well, especially with the pandemic. If we went to the pandemic and it was on social media, I think a lot of people would have actually died from depression, because it would have been so hard to go through those times. Like, I remember last year when it happened, the whole Don't Rush challenge. Like, I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah.
Literally, like, people that don't talk to you, like, you reach out to people, and it really forces you to come out of your comfort zone and say, oh, well, look, I'm doing this challenge, would you like to join? I'm sending this video. And you build like social connects. Like, I've met a lot of amazing people on this platform, and I just feel like I probably people that I wouldn't even have known of or have met otherwise. So it's great for like building community. It's great for finding people that have similar values. A lot of my vendors now I met on Clubhouse. And so that's the power of social media. And it's funny because even like those vendors, like, whenever I've gone back on Clubhouse, they've never been in rooms anymore. Like, my lawyer I met on Clubhouse. So it's just really, really important that that, like, that's part of social media. Like, really, it's there for you to connect with people that matter the most, and people that will add value to your life. And and then the hope is that you add value to people as well, because it's about giving and receiving as well. Do you know that kind of way? So and so I love social media, to be honest. I just feel like you need to be able to balance reality from it, and know when to take a step back and know when to come back again to that, because I just feel like I'm a firm believer in, you can't give from an empty cup. So if you are empty and if you're not in a great place, then you can't give. So that's really important. So that's why it's really important to take a step back and rest, so that you can give more and more. So yeah.
Okay, so basically you talked about the positive, which I'm really happy about. So let's talk about the negative part a bit. Do you think that some of the youth of these days, social media is like taking over for them, that it makes some people to start just living a fake life, like the kind of life they can afford, instead of them to use it into something to invest in themselves?
Well, yeah, absolutely. But it's like anything. You take out what you want from it. It's like, like, look at the education system. A lot of, if you go to college for how many years? 4 years. A lot of courses 4 years, and you finish.
Yeah.
But not everybody, like, so a lot of people go to college and don't come out with the same degree. A lot of people go to college and don't end up working in the field that they've studied, and it's the same with social media. You basically take out what you want from it, and you have, and I think it's really important that we are accountable for the people that we allow to influence us, because, and that's why you see a lot of content creators are moving away from the term influencer, because, to be honest with you, everybody and anybody can be an influencer. I can see your hair now and say, oh my God, I love your hair. I'm going to actually now grow my hair and have like you. And you can see me, you're like, oh my God, wow, she's rocking the shaved hair. I won't shave my hair. And that's the official title. That's how we've influenced each other. And I feel like you have to be accountable for who you allow to influence you and how you take that. Now, if you have a lot of people that are going above and beyond to creates this lifestyle that's not real. And I feel like especially the younger generations, they probably have it harder because I feel like for me and like maybe my age group now, you know, you're sieving through what you feel is true and reality and fake. And you know, then as well, if you're growing up and you realize, okay, like I want to start saving, or I want to get a mortgage, or I want to live a certain life, you know, you have to sit down and think to yourself, okay, right, so actually, where do I draw the line here? Like I remember I had a lady on my platform, Aliyah, and she and I remember like we spoke about mortgage, and I think that's probably one of my most engaging live, and she spoke about how she was a YouTuber. She took a step back from it because she felt like she wanted to start saving for a mortgage, and she just realized that, you know what, this is my life, and I'm not going to keep buying things because I'm trying to put it on, because I actually want to live my actual life in reality.
Yeah.
So this is my goal, and I want to work towards that. And that life, to be honest, of what lives I've done, I don't think I'll ever forget that life, because you know, so you do get to that stage where you're like, okay, how much more can I keep doing this? Can I keep buying, especially if it's not paying you? Now, obviously, another thing about social media, and this is a positive thing, is the fact that this is now people's jobs. Like social media is now paying people. We've seen influencers and content creators that are doing this full time. But until you get to that stage, you know, there's a lot of money. You need to budget yourself, but you need to work as well. So like, it's about trying to make sure you balance everything and make sure that you do what's best for you. And yeah, just filter through what you're seeing. If you feel like you're watching things and you're putting yourself under pressure, having to buy weaves, having to buy the most expensive jewelry, having to buy the most expensive this, like you will never stop. Like the life that we live in now is really fast paced, and there's always going to be trends. There's the coats, there's the jackets, there's so many things that you need to be on trend on. And I feel like if you succumb to that kind of society, you will put yourself under pressure. So you have to know what's best for you and know how to yeah, just like balance everything out, because it's not easy. It really isn't.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah.
You're going to your Instagram and all you're seeing is like people that are fly and trendy and gorgeous. It's really hard to think that, where do I fit in? But then again, it's like that will always be the case. So you need to be sounding yourself. And I think that's why it's important as well to take a break. A general rule of thumb I would say is try not to consume more than you're creating. If you're creating content for an hour, then you should try not to be on social media for 4 hours, because you've definitely now gone way above the amount, because it's never going to be good. Do you understand? It never is good. If you do that consistently, you just always be under pressure. So yeah, that's my 2 cents.
Okay. So would you say these days, again, most of us, when it comes to relationship, we've all forgotten about, it's not like there's a rule for relationship, but it's like everyone's forgotten about what it's meant to be like, and everyone just like follow whatever this person does or whatever someone's doing on social media, and everything is just all over the place, which has led to, you know, marriages breaking off, relationship breaking off, and get to the stage where girls are saying, oh, I don't mind if my boyfriend is cheating on me as long as he's taking care of me.
Yeah, that's really, that's actually a really tricky one, and I'm very careful to comment on that, because I guess it's very individual based. You know, it's kind of going back to the whole, you know, we have to be accountable for what we allow to influence us. You know, even like the whole, like that's why I always say to people, like, you know, you should never really, like, don't take advice from people that haven't been through what you've been through, firstly. And then even the idea of, oh, I wouldn't take that if I were you, but like a lot of, like, the honest truth is that nobody knows what the next person is taking. A lot of times, your friend might say, oh my god, you Wendy, I would never take that, but actually she probably taking worse than that. You know, I can realize people say, oh, if my boyfriend cheats on me once, that's it. But no, like, sis, he's cheated on you 4 times and you're still there. So I think you have to do what's best for you, and you have to be confident in yourself. And I think as long as you know when it's time to leave, and that's why it's really important to have real friends around you, people that will tell you the truth. Like, we all need friends that can say, no, Florence, no, this is wrong. If all your friends are always saying, oh, well done, girl, they always cheer you on, even like, and there's no difference, then that's not great. Like, I have friends that were like, no, Florence, no, that's wrong. What you did there was wrong. What you said was wrong, and you know, you shouldn't be in this. And I think we need people like that. You need friends that tell you, Florence, he's not good for you. You need to leave. And people that you listen to. But yeah, so to be honest, I think it just depends on the individual. But you know, the most important thing is that, you know, don't, like, everybody deserves the best. You know, so try not to stay in situations that don't add value to your life or that don't grow you, because we all have something to give. And if you're in a situation where something is not giving anything positive to your life, then you need to think about, okay, is this really what my time, is this what my energy? Because you know, what I think anyway, what's more important than money is time. And you know, a lot of times you just seeing, okay, you've been in a relationship for like a year, and
Yeah.
you're thinking about it, okay, where's time? Time flies. Time literally flies. And if you're in a situation where you're not growing or something's not adding value to you, and vice versa, you need to really think about, okay, where is this going, and is this good for me? Because now, before you know it, you're 28, 29, and you're like, oh, where's all these years gone? So like, you know, you need to make decisions quickly and sharp, you know. So yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. So is there any future plan or any new thing that we should be expecting from your brand or from you yourself as time goes on?
Well, we just launched our own design.
Yeah.
We have Black Friday coming up, and I'm really, really excited about that. Now we've launched our the pattern is called Stone. We've launched it now on our website, and if you order it now at full price, you'll get a free a free eye mask with it. So I'm really excited about that. And yeah, like I suppose I always say, like, there's never a dull moment with MIO points. Like, there's never a dull moment. Like, we're always doing things, and please God, like, God, you know, continue giving us the grace to serve people. But yeah, like, yeah, there's always exciting things. Follow my brand, guys. Please help my ministry, help our lives. But
Because I was
yeah, like, yeah, just shout out, you know, just follow us, and you know, like, yeah, we will do our best to always serve and always deliver. But honestly, beyond that, to be honest, thank you so much, Wendy, for
you're more than welcome.
I feel like thank you for being patient as well. Like, I know that sometimes even myself, when I'm trying to reach out to people, it's really hard when you're trying to wait for people to come back to you. So thank you for being
Oh, I
patient.
understand. I totally understand. Yeah, I
I know,
totally understand.
haven't chatted with you.
Oh yeah, thank you so much. Oh, one last question before I go. Just in case anybody watch when I upload later,
Mm-hmm.
how do you do your delivery? Do you deliver just in Ireland or anywhere else? Do you deliver anywhere else as well?
Worldwide. Yeah.
Okay,
So yeah, we deliver worldwide. And so
okay, okay.
our site is mio dash prints prints.com, and then my Instagram as well is our Instagram is mio underscore prints. So yeah.
Okay, when I upload the video, I'll tag both pages so that everyone can
Thank you so much. Thank you. I
Oh
really
no,
appreciate it.
thank you
Thanks
so
for
much.
having me on again. And yeah, like yeah, wishing you the best, and have a lovely evening yourself.
Thank you, and you too. Thank you so much. I'll talk to you later. Bye.
Bye, sis. Bye.
Thanks. Okay, guys, that was Mirror Prints. And next week, I'm going to be coming on with another guest. For everyone that joined today, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate you all. And it's been a very good time. And I'll see you next week. And bye.